Hey, caution if you're working with the buyer specialist. Hey, everybody, my name is Chris Wojciechowski. I'm a realtor and the owner of Homes in 719 here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I had a situation recently that made me want to, gave me the idea to put this video together for you guys. So, buyer specialist, it actually is a certification within the realtor world that a realtor can go out and become certified as a buyer specialist. And while more education is always good, it's important for you as the buyer to ask a few additional questions because I see a risk for you. If they are a designated buyer specialist and you ask them, do you work with sellers too? And they give you an answer, and you find out that the last time they worked with a seller was 2 years ago or something, because their brokerage has this agent specifically working with buyers, when you would think that would be great. That's all my buyers, all my agent does works with buyers, man. He's really going to be here. She's really going to be dialed in. They're going to know everything about everything. Here's the risk to you as the buyer. The only offer they ever see is the one that they write for the buyer, where a listing agent gets to see numerous offers, typically, if they're good at it, numerous offers from a whole bunch of agents with variations in different offers. So they learn what they get a bigger view of the offers that are coming in. So for example, recently I had a listing in one neighborhood where we went through, put on the market, and due to bad luck and a few things, we had to go on the market, or we were on the market and went under contract, off, and then had to go back on and then back off and then back on and then back off, like 3 times, because we kept having buyers back out. And for non-house related issues, stuff that I couldn't foresee. But what that allowed me to do was, okay, so I got all these offers during a small period of time where I got to see a lot of variation in those offers, right? It just so happened that about a week after it went under contract for the last time, I had a buyer putting an offer on a house in the same neighborhood. So this is like the holy grail. As I told my buyer, I know what offers are being submitted in this neighborhood. I know what they look like. I know what the other agents are using. Um, I could potentially get a curveball, but I know a lot more about that market because I was the listing agent and I saw so many offers, right? So when we crafted the offer for my buyer, I did so based on that knowledge. So I knew, for example, that all the offers that I got on that house as the listing agent were offering to split the closing service fee and split all the other fees. They were rarely asking or offering an escalation to the seller. They weren't doing anything creative with the offers. They were pretty basic. And to all fairness to the agents that were doing it, our market's kind of balanced right now. You don't have to be overly aggressive, maybe. But because I knew that, when I crafted the offer for my buyer, I got a little crafty. And I did pick up the closing costs, closing service fees, and a few other fees that I explained to my buyer, hey, man, this is going to increase your costs probably $3,000, but it's going to substantially increase the possibility that you're going to win the offer. Are you okay with that? And they were okay with it. They said, absolutely, dude, this is the house I want. And, as you know, I want to get one under contract quickly. So I'm not looking for a deal. I'm looking for a fair offer. And if the difference on a $450,000 house is $3,000, do it. So, I did that. I did a few things. I used an escalation clause and asked my buyer, hey, what do you want to pay for this house? Ideally, what would you want to pay for it? And he gave me a number, right? He gave me, I guess it doesn't matter if I tell you, 440. And I said, okay, how much would you pay for the house? And he said, I'd pay up to 470 for it. So I used an escalation clause that put it in at 440 with an escalation to 470. Now the list price in this house was 450. So That allowed the buyer, my buyer, to potentially get the house for less than list price, where it worked out in our worked out for us to do that. Or if it had competing offers, it was going to ratchet up by, I think it was like $1,000, all the way up to 470 if we needed to do that. So me having the knowledge of the variations of the offers that other buyers agents were submitting gave me an advantage writing an offer for my buyer. So that's why I wanted to bring this video out and create it for you guys. When you're talking to a buyer's agent or you're interviewing your buyer's agent, talk to them about when was their last listing. Theirs, not their brokerage, not their bosses, theirs. And if you don't get a warm and fuzzy, ask them to prove it to you. Bring up the MLS and you want to see their name as the primary agent. You know, if you see, sometimes they'll have two agents on there. One will be the brokerage owner and one will be them. Ask them more detailed questions. Did they run that transaction or were they assistant on it? Meaning, were they doing all the communication, writing all the contracts, doing all that kind of stuff, or were they just the assistant for the brokerage owner potentially? So, because if they were the listing agent, they got to see all these offers. All right, and that gives them an advantage to help them write a better offer for you. So, hopefully, this helps you guys when you're selecting your buyer's agent, and you know, gives you a little insight, maybe a couple tricks to help your offer get accepted. So if you don't have a buyer's agent, hey, I'd love to help you. So reach out to me through the website or 719-212-4911. Again, 719-212-4911. And thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.